While I may be considering a number of things, I do know where I land on this. I don't remember a time when I was more embarrassed for our country, at least of its leadership. And don't get me wrong, thanks to Twitter, there have been a number of moments from our leaders recently, but this past week during the Kavanaugh hearings, I find myself taking a different look at where we have come as a society and just how far we have to go. Oftentimes in America, we forget that by world history standards, we're still relatively young, a developing country. But last week, there was no doubt that we are a teenager, and a petulant, mean, and obnoxious teenager at that, as we played out in broad daylight what could have been and should have been handled behind closed doors. And in our apparent search for the truth, the only truth found was that we really have a lot of growing up to do. And this was on both sides of the aisle. Republicans made a massive misstep when they were so cowardly they wouldn't even ask questions themselves. Rather, they had someone else come in and do the dirty work for them. Really? Come on. Man up. And Democrats were just as bad, as they weren't interested in the truth, but instead interested in publicly crucifying someone. Yes, I said crucify. This was a modern-day execution, and I believe Kavanaugh wasn't the only potential target, as they would have looked to do the same to anyone that was nominated. In the end, facts are still questionable, and we don't know where they're going to come out or if they ever will. I watched both testimonies. Was Dr. Ford a credible witness? Absolutely. Was there any reason to doubt what she was saying? Not at all. And after listening to Judge Kavanaugh, he was believable too, but the Democrats are now also saying that he was unhinged. Well, of course he was. He's a person, and a man at that. If you're a man and you're accused of something as truly heinous as sexual assault, I'm wondering why you wouldn't be unhinged in your defense. That isn't an accusation you take on the chin. You defend yourself, you defend your family, and you defend your honor. That's what being an American is all about. This is the time when your principles matter. And if it happened, she's sticking to hers by coming forward with this. And if it didn't, then he most certainly sticking to his by defending himself as fiercely as he can. And when it comes to being an American, the only two people who were American in that room last week were Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh. Finding myself somewhere in the middle, I'm Seth Denson.